Hey guys, it's MusicTechHelpGuy, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to tune, time align, and pitch align your vocal recordings using Revoice Pro 4. SYNCHRO ARTS was generous enough to give me a free copy of Revoice to give away to one of my subscribers. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see how you can win a free copy of Revoice Pro 4. For the main part of this video, I'm just going to be using Revoice as a standalone program, but it can also communicate and transfer audio to and from your DAW. It can work with ARA, and it can also work with the audio suite in Pro Tools if you're a Pro Tools user. But personally, when I use Revoice, I just prefer exporting audio tracks from my DAW, importing into Revoice, then exporting them back out again. It's a little extra work, and there are a lot of different ways you can do this that you might find faster, but this is just the way I do things. I like to use Revoice anytime I have multiple stacked vocals, whether they be doubles or harmonies, and I want to make the timing and pitch of those stacked vocals tighter. Revoice truly is the best way to time and pitch align stacked vocals. It's the quickest way and the most accurate way, in my opinion.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing, so tell me now. Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing, so tell me now.
Revoice's pitch correction engine is also incredibly accurate and smooth, and although many of you probably know me as a hardcore Melodyne user, there are definitely times when I can't get the sound that I want in Melodyne, but I can get the sound I want with Revoice. So there's a lot of different applications here. So first, I'm just going to show you how to import tracks. I'll show you the basic operation of Revoice. I'll quickly show you the vocal tuning tools, and then I'll jump into the APT processes and show you how you can time align and pitch align your vocals. Okay, so I've got a bunch of vocal tracks here. I've got 6 harmonies and 3 lead vocal tracks. Just to start, I'm going to delete these tracks. I'll just right click and select delete selected tracks, and I'll drag in all of these tracks. So it's going to ask me where I want to put them. I'll just say I'll put them at the playhead, and then I'll apply to all files and select OK. Now, one thing I want to do real quick is I want to reduce each of these tracks by 4 dB. This is just to make sure that I don't get any nasty distortion and overloading sounds, because I've got a lot of vocals here. And typically in your DAW, you'd go through in the mixer and you'd pull down all of the vocals anyway, and you might also pan all of your vocals as well. So I'm just going to pull those all down by 4 dB. I'm also going to pan them approximately the way I would pan them in my DAW, just so I can get a sense of the stereo width involved and also the sort of timing offsets between them. So I'm just going to pull the lead vocal up to the top, and I'll pull my other 2 lead vocals up to the top as well. A main lead vocal, that's the top one, and then 2 doubles. So these are going to be a left and a right double. So this second one, I'll click here. I'll set the pan to 100% to the left. I'll set this one 100% to the right. Then as I move down here, you'll see 3 more harmonies and then 3 more harmonies. This is a group of 3 lower harmonies and then a group of 3 higher harmonies. So the first one I'm going to keep center. The second one I'll make it left. The third one I'll make it right. This one will be center. This one will be left. And this one will be right. Again, just doing this to approximate the panning of how I would do this in the mix. Now, if you want to hear the music of your song along with this, I recommend just bouncing a quick bounce of your song along with it, just so you can hear it with the music. So let's give these a listen.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing, so tell me now, could you ever love a skin suit of bugs?
So the timing and the tuning is actually pretty good. You'll hear there's some kind of flamming going on between the left and right speakers, and that's why I panned the harmonies, because sometimes if you just put everything in the center, you won't hear the timing differences as much. But then if you hard pan them, you'll really hear how off the vocals are, the timing of the vocals are. And by the way, just a quick shout out to Sappho. She's a Canadian electronic pop artist. She's got some really great music, and she actually recorded all of these vocals for us just for this video, just so we could have some raw vocals to work with. A big shout out to her. Go check out her new album, Time Machine. You can check that out at her website, sapphomusic.com. It's some really great stuff. She's really good at building harmonies and backing vocals like this, so go check her out. I'll leave links in the video description in the comments below. Okay, so let's first start with the lead vocals. So what I'm going to do is mute all of these harmonies. So if I just want to see that track, I can click here. It'll maximize that track. And if I want to tune the vocals, I can view the pitch grid up here. So you just click here where it says audio, and then go down to pitch, and you'll see sort of a piano roll style editor here. And in order to see the actual pitches and be able to edit them, what I need to do is right click on that audio region and select Make Warp Region. I think you can still do this when it's maximized too, yeah. You just right click and you say Make Warp Region. So now what you're seeing is the waveform in the back. You're seeing all of the tonal elements of her vocal. And then you're also seeing, one of the things I love about this is you'll see the consonant sounds here in blue. So it's automatically recognizing that some of the sibilants and the consonant sounds that are not necessarily going to need to be tuned to a pitch grid. So it separates those. So if you're going to use Revoice for vocal tuning, it really helps to know a few basic tools. If you right click, you can see these tools and functions. The first is Detect Scale. You can do that just by pressing D. And what you'll see this does is it minimizes the number of notes on the pitch grid. And down here, you'll see the key that it's detected, G major. And then if you right click again, you'll see there's a few different tools. You have your selector tool, cutter tool, correct pitch tool, pencil tool, warp point tool. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'll go through some of the basic functions. Your selector tool, O, is like your main tool to just grab notes and move them around. So I can move notes around freely if I like. I can also drag over a note and press W. If you right click, you'll see this function right here, and it's correct selected notes to 100%. So I could do that for a bunch of these notes. And one of the other functions I find incredibly helpful with Revoice is the smooth notes. If you right click, there's an option here. It's M, smooth selected notes. What this does is it smooths the transitions between the notes. Another helpful function is join notes. I have a note over here that's basically just one note. It just has a lot of vibrato. Well, if you select join selected notes or press J, it'll join those together. Then I can press W to tune these up, and I can drag over all of these and press M to smooth them up.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
I've got another couple of notes here that need to be joined, so just press J, tune all of these up, W, and then press M to smooth them out.
Full of bugs.
Now, if you want to just kind of like tune everything, there is a function for that as well. There's select all notes and pitch correct to 100%. That's option W. And there's also select all notes and smooth joins. That's option shift W. So if I do option W, option shift W, let's see what result we get.
Skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing, so tell me now.
Yeah, I think I'd still prefer to go through phrase by phrase. I think you just get a better result that way. And not everything needs to be tuned. There's a lot of situations where, maybe you just need to join certain notes and tune up certain notes. It's usually the long notes that need to be edited. It's not the little short notes.
Can't fall in love. My heart's a racing.
Now, if you don't want to tune to 100%, you can also use the correct pitch tool, K, to set the pitch correction to something other than 100%. You could set this to say, 70 or 80%. So you're not getting 100% if you want a bit more of a natural pitch correction.
So tell me now, could you ever love?
We got another note over here that needs to be joined together. So just press J, W to tune it.
Could you ever love?
Another thing that's incredible in Revoice is you can redraw pitch drifts. So if you use the pencil tool, L, you can actually draw in different pitch drift patterns. So like if I wanted to do that, something like that, you know, where that doesn't have this scoop down, you could do that.
A skin suit of bugs.
Or if you want, you can completely take out the vibrato.
A skin suit of bugs.
Okay, so that's just the basics of vocal tuning in Revoice. Let's talk about matching the timing and pitch of different tracks together. First, let's work with my two doubled lead vocal tracks here.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing.
So she's a good singer. I mean, she's in time for the most part. Her tuning is, you know, pretty much there. But let's say I want those two doubled vocal tracks to sound like really, really tight vocals, almost like a chorus effect, like a natural doubling chorus effect. What you can do for this is create an APT process. So APT, I'm assuming, stands for amplitude, pitch, and timing, because you can actually control amplitude or volume as well. So I'm going to do this on a short selection first, and then I'll do it for the whole section here. And actually, first, I'm just going to do it with the lead vocal and one of the doubling vocals. So what I'll do is I'll select a range right here from the beginning up to the end of this phrase. And then what you do is you right-click on this little gray line here, and you select New APT. And this brings up the APT process dialog. Now, what I'm going to do is select selected playback range. That's the range I want it to be applied to. Then you can choose a preset. I'm going to choose this one called Vocal Tightest Time and Pitch. Then what you need to do is select a guide, which is going to be the lead vocal, where I'm assuming that the lead vocal is what I want the timing to be set to. And the dub is what's going to be processed. That's what's going to be corrected. Now, the tricky thing here is while you can output the changes directly onto the track, you're going to hear both of them at the same time. So what I like to do is create new tracks for the output tracks, essentially like the rendered version. So what I'll do is down here, I'll just right click and select add tracks. I'll add two new tracks and I'll just call them Vox Double. So I've got Vox Double 1, Vox Double 2. So these are going to be like the rendered tracks, the output tracks essentially. And just to make these easier to see, I'll pull them up here. And so now what I'll do is I'll select the lead vocal as the guide, the first dub track as the dub track, and then I'll make the first double track here as my output track. So this is where this is going to go. So it's going to take this information, affect this information, and create a new double down here based on the dub track. And there it is. So what I like to do is actually mute the dub tracks because I don't want to hear those. That's the original. I just want to hear the lead vocal plus my new dub track, my new output track.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
Now the crazy thing is it's so close, the timing and pitch is so close that it sounds almost like a chorus effect. So if you want to tame this down a bit, you can go to the dub track and you can control any of its parameters. Like if I want to make the timing a little more loose, I want to make the pitch a little more loose. You can even play around with the level. You can do that and it'll automatically update the output track.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
Now you can hear that the timing and the pitch is a little looser, but it's still pretty tight. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make the timing pretty tight, but the pitch a little looser.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
Now what I could do is create another process with the guide being the lead vocal, but this time the dub is going to be the third vocal track here, and then the output will be my second vocal double. So again, it's going to take this information, use this dub to create a second dub track or a second output track down here. You could do it that way, or what I could do is I could start from scratch here, and I could create multiple processes. So I could actually create 2 different APT processes and render 2 new output tracks based on the 2 dub tracks. So to do this, you just select APT. Make sure that you reselect selected playback range every time you do this. I've noticed that if you close the window and then reopen it and you don't reselect this, that it tries to do the whole thing. I don't know if that's a glitch or a bug or what that is, but that's what's happening on my end. Using that same preset, tightest time and pitch, the guide is still the lead vocal. The first dub is the second vocal. It's automatically going to create one for the third one. Then we're going to say create multiple processes. So we're creating 2 processes, and the track increment or the spacing between them is 1. And then I'll click fix offset. That'll make sure that it pushes both of these down here. And then for my output, I'll select my very first output track, so the Vox double. So what it's going to do is it's automatically going to know, based on the number of processes and the track increment, to take this dub and output it here, and take this dub and output it here. Then I just click new process, and it automatically does both of them. So one thing I am going to do, though, I need to set the volume and the pan for my new doubled tracks the same as the original dubs, because otherwise I'm going to sort of perceive them differently.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
I mean, that is super, super tight. Here's the original.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
And then here's the version that we just made.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
I'm going to hit my mono button real quick.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
Yeah, they're almost so perfect that I'm getting a little bit of center cancellation on the lead vocal. So again, all you have to do is click on this little arrow on the dub tracks, and you can lay off the timing or lay off the pitch if you want. I'm going to lay off the pitch a bit. You can also adjust other parameters like the timing flexibility, transient options. There's a lot of different options here you can play around with, but I think just taming down the pitch so there's a bit more pitch variation is going to really help.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs. Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
Yeah, now it's sounding more like a natural chorus effect, but the timing is spot on. Now, if you want to remove APT processes, all you have to do is right click and you can say delete selected process. And let's try to do all of the vocals all at once. This is something that, Vocal Line doesn't do very well. You can only do really short sections, but Revoice, you can do really long sections, and it tends to be still pretty accurate. So once again, create a new APT. Selected playback range. I'll use the vocal tightest time and pitch. I'll go and fix that and tweak it later. The guide is the lead vocal. The dub is the first dub vocal. The output is going to be the first output track. I'll click the fix output option so it knows to shift the dub vocals down by 2. It's 2 processes, and the increment is 1. And let's see how that works for everything.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs.
So far, so good. Once again, I'm going to click here and make the pitch a little more gentle. Just like so. And let's play back that whole section.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing, so tell me now, could you ever love a skin suit of bugs?
So now let's move on to the harmony tracks. Now, with the harmonies, we're going to kind of have to do the same thing, but because they're singing different notes, we're not going to match up the pitch. We're only going to match up the timing. So once again, I'm going to create new tracks for these, new output tracks for these. I'll right click and I'll say insert tracks. I'll create 6 new tracks and I'll just name these harm for harmony. So we've got harm 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way down. So these are going to be the output tracks for my harmony tracks. What I'll do is I will make a selection around this first harmony here, just like so. And at the end as well. And I'll make sure that that lines up with the lead vocal as well, because again, I'm using the lead vocal as my reference or my guide track. There we go. Okay, so for this, again, selected playback range, but instead of the tightest time and pitch preset, I'm just going to use tight timing only, no pitch processing. The guide is going to be lead vocal 1. The dub is going to be the first harmony dub track. The first output is going to be the first harm track. You click fix offset. It automatically knows to shift them up by 6 tracks. The increment is 1, and the number of processes is 6, because there's 6 total vocals we're processing. And I'll click new process. And just like that, it creates all of these time-aligned harmonies for us.
In suit full of bugs. In suit full of bugs. In suit full of bugs.
Yeah, everything's, perfectly in time now. Let's go over to the next phrase.
Can't fall in love.
There we go. This next phrase, I believe the harmonies are only in the first 3 harmony tracks, not the bottom 3 here. So what I'll do is set the range around those next harmonies. Make sure that selected playback range is selected, tight timing, lead vocal 1, harmony 1, fix offset, harmony 1, but we're only doing 3 processes this time. So we'll click new process and bam.
So tell me now.
It's so easy to time align harmonies. It's super quick. It's way quicker than trying to do this with vocal line, just doing them one at a time and spotting each of them. One last thing I want to do here, just so I can kind of hear the before and after of everything, is I want to create 2 groups. I want to create a group that's the unedited dubs, and one that's the edited dub. So everything that's soloed right now is the lead vocal plus all the output tracks with the doubles and the harmonies. So what I'll do is go up to tracks, and there's an option up here, make track group from soloed tracks. And over here you can see all your track groups. So I'll call this output tracks. And you can choose to solo all of these, mute all of these, just like so. So now what I'm going to do is create another group with just the original tracks. So I'll call this original tracks. So now what I can do is real quickly, I can solo just the output tracks and solo the original tracks.
Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing, so tell me now, could you ever love a skin suit of bugs? Just 'cause I'm a skin suit full of bugs doesn't mean I can't fall in love. My heart's a racing, so tell me now, could you ever love a skin suit of bugs?
I mean, everything is perfectly in time, and we've also matched the pitch and timing of the doubled vocals. It's tighter. It sounds more like a single unit rather than a bunch of different singers. So now when you're all done and you want to export this back into your DAW, you just go up to File. And by the way, you can save this project as its own project if you can go back and edit it later. But you can also go down to Export Audio, select where you want this to go. And then you just select the tracks that you want to export. So for me, it's the lead vocal, the double, and the 6 output harmony tracks. There we go. And I will do add to track start. It just adds the name of the name of the track to the file name, and then just save it right there. And then in my Finder, I can find that Sappho Revoice tracks folder, and here are all of my processed audio tracks. And I can just drop those into my DAW and work with them and mix them any way I like. So that's how I go about tuning, time aligning, and pitch aligning vocal recordings with Revoice Pro. Now, after watching along with a video like this, you might think that it's a tedious process, but if you've ever tried to do this track by track with Melodyne or Flex Pitch or a combination of both, you'll know that aligning vocals like this for a whole song could take literally a whole day's work. I find it much easier and more efficient to do all of this at once in Revoice. Once again, a big thanks to Sappho for making these recordings for us for this video, and a big thanks to SYNCHRO ARTS for giving me a free copy of Revoice to give away to you guys. So if you made it this far and you want a chance to win a copy of Revoice, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, subscribe to the SYNCHRO ARTS YouTube channel, and then leave a comment below about what you like about this and how you'd use it in your workflow. I'll select a winner exactly 1 week from today on Friday, December 19th, 2020 at 4 p.m. US Eastern Time. If you win, I'll send you a direct message and I'll pin your comment to the top. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely a long one. Thanks for the support and thanks for watching.